What's going on, guys? Gast here, giving you guys a an update on my Lunatic Conquest run. I am currently on Chapter 10, the dreaded Chapter 10, and I've just been chilling. I'm just still preparing for it. The thing I'm starting to do now is just like go through like a brainless run and just like get my bearings straight just to see what's up. So I did that. Then I lost, and then I lost again. It's fucking hard, man. It's a hard chapter. I'm trying to apply the things that Mangus and I did in our chapter 10, but yeah, I've been trying to follow some tips. I got Haitaka. I captured him. Someone said to capture him for the rally defense, and it's sick. So he's like my rally bot now. I heart sealed Mozu. So now she's an archer. I like Mozu a lot. I think it has to do with the fact that she's like a farm girl, and I'm obviously like a farm kid. I'm from the boonies and shit, so like it kind of relates to that. What else? The thing I'm starting to realize that so far that Conquest is doing really well is like there's this thing that I don't really know if a lot of people say a lot, but me and my friends and like I guess there's like the community has this kind of thing called Spotlight. I'm sure you've all heard of it. I don't know. I've never heard it outside Serenade, so maybe it's been everywhere else. But so basically, what Spotlight is like when a new character comes in, their spotlight is like how useful they are in that chapter, and for every single chapter, there's like someone's really useful. And it's usually like the new recruited character. But even so, even if that's not the case, there's always like a single character who like shines through in like one chapter. Like in chapter 6, that's the faceless one, I think. Yeah, in chapter 6, it was Arthur, and Arthur came, and it was Arthur and Effie and Silas and stuff. Arthur was a clutch master in chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6 is like, if you don't know how skills work, then you're kind of boned. Because what my strategy ended up being was I put Arthur, I choked the south point with Arthur, paired him up with Effie, then put Elise behind him for her skill activation, and then I put Felicia behind Elise, and then I had Silas and Corin on the left, and they were sort of taking care of the faceless where the boss was, and then once the boss started moving, I pulled Corin and Silas back, and then Felicia was floating between Corin and Silas and Arthur and Effie. So that was my strategy for that, and it worked out pretty well. That was a tough chapter. It was actually like not as hard as I thought it was going to be, though. I think it's just because of the fact that like the unit variation was so like just a single monster. And that was pretty interesting. I remember saying in the Conquest LP that it's really hard. It was when we fought the foxes. It's really hard to design. I feel like it's really hard to design a chapter around a single class. But that was a really tough chapter, and I think they really nailed it with that one. I was really impressed. And then chapter 7 with the Ice Tribe, that one was a struggle because I pulled the biggest bonehead mistake twice, and it was really stupid. Like I stratted so hard, I planned out everything, and I was like, I paired up so with Felicia. I think it was fitting for Felicia to have Spotlight in that chapter because she just owned that chapter. She was just like, I paired her up with Silas, and then I booked it west to get to the southwest village there with Silas. And so she was just owning those mages on the left. And then I paired up Elise with Effie, just so Effie could move fast. So I paired her up there, but I made sure she wasn't in the way of those three. She wasn't in range of those three mages that Felicia was supposed to take care of. So Felicia took care of those mages, and then I separated Felicia and Silas, and then I got Felicia to kill that soldier that was going to go for the village, and then I had Niles Niles float around like the bottom middle sort of area, and I paired up Corin with Arthur, and they were just like picking up. They were just like it's a really big baity chapter, but I think it's okay since like you have to rush to get these villages. So I got to the villages. I killed Flora, whatever her name is, Flora, and I didn't burn any freezes, which was great. And then I had to use. Okay, this is what I was really impressed with. I tweeted this out that I was really impressed with the Dragon Veins in chapter 7, 8, 7, 8. It was 8, yeah. Chapter 8. It was I think unless someone has like insane strats, I think it's impossible to get the northmost village. I think that's impossible to get. Maybe it's not hard on like fucking easy or normal or whatever, but like on Lunatic, it's like I wasn't even gonna bother trying. So then the soldier comes up there, and then a bunch of mages and like 3 mages and 2 brigands come out. And so I'm like, oh shit. So then they start coming, and then I'm like, oh wait, that's when you use the Dragon Vein. So then I used the Dragon Vein when they were approaching me, like when they started actually approaching after I killed Fiora. I think after you kill Flora, they start coming, or after you get in like that sort of like range, they start coming. So I used the Dragon Vein, and then I picked all of them off, and I was like, wow, this is really like Dragon Vein is being used really well here. I really enjoyed it. And then it started getting really. Then the pacing just totally. The chapter was essentially finished because the goal was kill Kilma, and then there was still like 5 or 6 enemies on the right side. So I just baited them out. It took a while. I just baited them out, and then I got to Kilma, and I'm like ready to go, and I fucking put Corin in range, and I do all these plans and do all this like pro strats, right? And I don't check to see if Corin will just straight up die. Corin has 23 or 24 HP at this point, and Kilma just one hits him because he deals him. He one hit kills him. He one hit kills Corin, and I was like, fuck me. And then I did the same mistake again, just slightly different. I was like, wow, I'm actually really bad at this game. I was like planning all these crazy things and like utilizing skills and like position and like using ranges and stuff, like keeping enemy range in mind. And I just the most bonehead basic Fire Emblem mistake is check enemy damage, see if you die from hitting this guy. And that happened twice. And then I finally kill the fucker, and I was like, great. And then Flora and Felicia talk about how they have Stockholm syndrome, and then they're like cool with you, and their dad, who is like not, I don't know, it's stupid, whatever. And then chapter 9 was easy. That was an easy chapter. That was a cakewalk. I mean, I guess it's fitting for a chapter that just had a hard chapter before it. I don't know. Hytaka was a breeze. All I did was I burned a freeze on Hytaka, and I ended up capturing him. That was an interesting chapter too. Nyx is weird. Nyx is a weird character. I don't get why she has. I remember she has the curse that we covered that with Mangs' LP or something. I'm just like, why are you this character? Like, I don't want you. She's a weird character to me. I don't know. Maybe people think the same way. But yeah, that was that chapter. Got Azura, captured Hytaka. Then I had to. I built the prison, and then I built the prison beforehand so I can capture him, with Niles, and then Odin. I also reclassed Odin recently. I bought a second heart. I bought a heart seal for Mozu, got her to an archer, and then I got the heart seal from the treasure in that chapter, and I heart sealed Odin. So now he's a samurai, and now I had to like visit castles and get materials so I can bribe Hytaka, and that's interesting. He's cool. I don't really know how I feel about capturing, like. It's like a nice idea, and it's refreshing that they brought that back from FE5 and they like gave it like they put a twist on it. But like narrative wise, it's like, what the fuck's happening here? It's just, I don't know. It's like it's one of those. It's like for me personally, it's one of those things that it's just like I can't take this story seriously at all. Like there's so many like extra shit that just like clashes with everything. It's just like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. I'm just like I already don't like the story. I'm gonna do my look like I'm gonna do my thing to make fun of the story. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. Capture mechanically is fun, though. I wonder if it's like that interesting to like just capture and just use them for like as role players. You know what I mean? I feel like people only use captured units as like just for fun, or they're just strictly for their usefulness and like nothing else. Like when I finish up with Haitaka, I'm not going to use him anymore. I'm just using him for his because he's a rally bot. That's literally the only reason I'm going to use him for this one chapter, and then I'm going to probably bench him and then focus on Odin or Mozu or Camilla or whatever. So now I'm on chapter 10, and that is just I made a bonehead mistake. I calculated. I put Azura in range of a Pegasus Knight that she would be left with 1 HP, but what I didn't check was her speed, and the Pegasus Knight was faster because she had that skill that increases her speed. Or was it speed or a void? I forget what it is, but Azura got double, and I didn't see it coming, so I had to start over. Doing the same thing I did with Mengs's is that I bought tonics. Yeah, I bought tonics. That was good. Good stuff. So yeah, I'm on chapter 10 right now. Still alive, still kicking. What else is going on? Yeah, I started also getting into My Castle. And I'm surprised. I actually kind of enjoy it. It's another one of those things that kind of like makes me feel like this is a really casual game in that sort of respect. But, you know, I mean, I like the idea. I should clarify. I like the idea of a My Castle, and I like the idea of like customizing your hub and stuff. Like bases are things that like they're in Pokemon, they're in like hidden, you know, like bases are just interesting things. They're an interesting mechanic, and you know, if I could do it, I probably thought about it. Like I thought of, well, I mean, it's in Path of Radiance and shit. Like base is already a thing. Now they're just like fleshing the concept out even further, mechanically. Yeah, it's interesting. I like the idea of My Castles. I didn't think I would, but for me personally, I just kind of, I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice kind of break. You know, you have like some reprieve before another big chapter. So, I'm not really excited for Hot Springs. I think that, I mean, maybe I will. I don't know. I've been surprised by other stuff in this game, but I think I don't like the idea of Hot Springs. I don't like private quarters that much either. I really don't. I think it's so stupid. Every time I'm there, I'm just like, wow, this is so dumb. I'm not doing this for anything except I don't know. I feel like the idea of private quarters from the get-go was just like so stupid. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me and like I have a social life, so I can't like get attached to these like fictional characters. Like, I don't know, but to me it's just so off-putting. It's just like this first person thing with like this character who's like talking to me. It's just like, fuck, man. I need to go outside and like get fucking hammered. Go downtown or like meet people. Jeez. For me, like, I think that's one of the reasons why I really can't get anything past like the gameplay. I can't really get into. It's just like, it just feels like this game is designed for people who just have like, who are just like social, like just like inept social people. Maybe that's really mean on my part, but that's the vibe I get. It's just, I don't know. I mean, that said, a lot of like socially like capable people love the game. But for me, it's just like the private quarters and the hot spring. It's just like, on one hand, yeah, it's for fun. But on the other hand, like, I can't help but think that they obviously tried to like cater to the whole waifu thing. Obviously, that otherwise they wouldn't do it. I mean, that's what I think. But yeah, so far, I always even in my Q&A, my 3,000 subscriber Q&A, I did say I'm strictly just playing Conquest for gameplay to see what it is, to see what the hype's about. And so far, man, it's getting my money's worth. I'll say that much. The funny thing though is that like I don't really like Lunatic because it's fucking hard. And I'm like, it's like, you're playing Lunatic not because you want to have fun. You're playing Lunatic because you're playing Lunatic. Like, if you want to have fun, there's like 4 other modes for you. But when you're playing Lunatic, like, it's no joke. Like, they're not joking around. Like, they want to fuck you in the butt. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not for me, it's like, yeah, it's the only fun part I get is like the satisfaction that I beat the chapter because it was fucking me in the ass the whole time. But like, the entire process is stressful, it's calculating, it's long, and it's so annoying when you get fucking kill mud at the very end of a chapter twice. So it's like, yeah, like, Lunatic is a mode and it's really tough. And I'm not exactly having fun because I don't think I'm supposed to have fun. I'm supposed to be like, I don't know, maybe people, it's obviously a fun challenge, but for me, it's just like, man, this next chapter is going to be really hard. I'm having a hard time. That said, it's not a knock on the mode, a knock on the game. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, you're not supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be playing Lunatic, man. It's Lunatic, bro. It's Conquest Lunatic, bro. So, yeah. On that front, I get it. It's tough. Really fun, though. I just said it wasn't fun. It's really rewarding. It's rewarding. It's not fun, but it's rewarding. That's what I'm trying to say. What else is going on? Yeah, that's pretty much it. My next Conquest update will be, you'll hear me talk about Conquest in a video again, probably at chapter 13, 14, or 15. Yeah. Did I even talk about the first 5? I just said it was really fast. Yeah, I died on chapter 1, just straight up. Chapter 1, I just died. I was like, well, I can't do the thing that Mangs and I did. So for chapter 1, I put, what's his name? Jagan. I forget his name already. Oh man, what's the Jagan's name in this game? I actually don't even remember. That's how sad it is. Like, that's how like, he was like, oh my, or he said something like that, or like, oh no. What was his name? God. I forget. Jagan. Fate's Jagan. I brought Fate's Jagan to the top, and he took out what's Rinka. I took out Rinka with him, and then I had Felicia and Corin sort of float around the right and take care of those sword dudes. And that was that chapter. And chapter 2 was the border guard chapter. That was pretty smooth. There was no real issue there. Chapter 3 was the getting knocked, this post space time chapter, and the after the Gonglari Olympic dive to the abyss. That was another interesting Dragon Vein chapter. I remember thinking I wasn't really big on Ryoma being there because he kind of like cheesed it, but for Lunatic, maybe I'm just like saying Lunatic because it's like my default excuse, but like I remember some people are saying Hard and Lunatic are pretty much the same, but Ryoma was helpful to pave the way. I didn't really use the Dragon Veins that much, and I think I stuck to the left side because I figured if I did the Dragon Vein to where the boss was, then they'd all just charge after me and I'd straight up just die in a second. So that was like a mix between like sticking to the left / turtling, but not really, and then like switching, like bait and switch. And then I beat that chapter. Wasn't that tough. Then it was chapter 5, and my god, that was hard, man. That was a hard chapter. That was like the hardest chapter I've played so far. Like in any Fire Emblem was literally chapter 5. I don't know, man. It was just so hard. Like, it was like, I played it so many times, I feel like I should remember more of it. What did I do in chapter 5? I took Corin and I put him to the left. So he took out those 2 sword dudes. And then I brought everyone else. I paired up Kaze with Felicia. No, I paired up Kaze with Sakura. Felicia's not like with Sakura, so Kaze would get res boost, so we can sort of help. I also gave him a HP tonic. So I gave him an HP tonic, and I gave him Sakura so he could tank those mages. And then I got those mages out, got those sword guys out, and so then I had Corrin on one side, I think with Aqua there too, and then the other three. And Rinka didn't do shit. She was so bad. My God, she's a good instance of just like being totally just super worthless, like the weakest link. Like she just couldn't do anything. She was just there for support, just for strength. Anyway, so what I used to do was I put everyone to the right, and then everyone got like dogpiled by so many enemies. So my winning run, I just kept Corrin. What did I do? I forget, but I think I had Corrin on the right, on the left, and I had someone else, I think, bait out the two Wyrm Slayer sword guys. I don't know if it was with Corrin, because I think he would die. I think it was someone else. Maybe it was Kaze? Maybe it was Kaze and Corrin on that side. And they just like took out those two guys. Then the reinforcements came and they were a non-issue. So I split them up. And that's how I beat that chapter. But it took a while. It was hard. It was a hard chapter for sure. And then chapter 6 was just whatever. Chapter 6 was whatever. And then we got to the Faceless that I already talked about. So yeah, chapter 10, it's fun. Quote unquote, it's fun. Tearing Saga is another thing. That's an interesting game for sure. That is an interesting game. Lots of dialogue. A lot of dialogue. Very colorful. Love the style. Yeah. So that's what's going on in Fire Emblem Land. Bloodlines is doing well. Yeah. Everything's solid. Everything's A-okay. One last thing is thank you everyone who has been giving me accessories, giving me visitors and battle bonuses. It's really fun, and it's I'm actually using the items in my in my playthrough of Lunatic, and I really appreciate it. I'm not trying to like cheese it too hard because I don't want to like get like roided out with stuff and just like cheese everything. So I'm kind of like staying within my range of like useful items from visits and shit. So I really appreciate it. I bought an accessory shop, and it was just I gave Corrin a faceless mask and a wizard hat. That was pretty jokes. But yeah, aside from that, thank you everyone who's been supporting me spiritually through this journey. It's been tough, but we're gonna muscle through it. And yeah, that's that. Take a visit at the Gas Nation. My code thingy is gonna be on the bottom. And yeah, with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.